I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna be the one to say it, right? This is some goddamn BS. Hello everyone, this is the review of My Hero Academia, The No One Dies. The tension is gone now, right? This is the One Piece treatment of a stolen storyline. Bakugou is saved, of course. No, but seriously. I was surprised whatsoever. Look at my last review. I said that the author won't have the guts, right? They won't have the balls to do it. And that's what we're doing here. Right? And this is straight up terrible writing. It's really bad. I hate this scene. It ruins the storyline to a lot of extent, right? But it's just really, really silly, right? You know, we have other characters dying for that matter earlier, so the author isn't completely avoid of having anyone dying. But Bakugou, for whatever reason, has to be saved because he's like the main character's rival or something. But it certainly feels it felt incredibly obvious that we're gonna save him. And this also is like really badly writing in so many ways because there's like no build up for this thing. Edgeshot, this is a character. He's number 9 hero. He has barely any screen time. We know it's in this fight, I guess. Miruko's there too, right? But suddenly he's just like, oh, I can heal him. I can turn into like a thread and like go into his heart and fix his life. You're like, really? Really? Like it's very, very DS Machina where this guy is like, oh yeah, like, I have the power. I always had his power. And also, why would he do it? Because now he basically is like fusing with Bakugou and it's saving his life and whatever. Right? Like, why would he? Oh, best genius, you and I are bros. If you believe in this kid, then I will die to save him. You're like, what? Well, yeah, it's like, no. It's so bad writing, man. It's so bad. Like it's bad at so many levels, right? It's bad that it's so predictable that Bakugou will survive. It's bad that these guys are like willing to sacrifice a stronger hero than Bakugou. We have to assume that this guy is like one of the top heroes in the world, right? And he's like, oh, whatever, I would die for this kid. Like, why would he do that? Like, why would he care so much for? Like, we haven't even seen this guy interact with Bakugou. That's something really dumb, too. We haven't seen this guy ever, like, talk to Bakugou. Yes, they had a very, very brief flashback of him and Genius being, like, bros. So he's like, yeah, I'll save you, kid, because he's, like, your student or something. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's really, really weak sauce. It's so weak sauce having this guy come in here and sacrifice his life to save Bakugou. It is like, what is this thing? But like I said, I keep saying, that's very predictable, right? Yeah, you're like, oh god. And then it turns into this weird thing where, like, Mirio and Miruko and Hado and everyone suddenly had to block him from stopping this, like, revive attempt, right? So then Miruko loses a body part. Comment to that soon, don't worry, guys. Yeah, we're talking about that a bit. Yeah, I hate the Miruko always gets hurt, right? Miruko's the body parts. Just continuation of that, right? Followed by like Miru almost getting hurt. At least he can face through it, right? But Hado getting hurt also massively. She got like slammed, and all of them are like sacrificing their lives almost, or at least they're almost dying to save Bakugou's life. So it just feels like, is Bakugou really that important in Deku appears? But whatever, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, no, like, yeah, they're all basically almost dying, say Bakugou, and this guy, I guess, is dying, or at least is fusing Bakugou. So maybe they're gonna have some. I mean, Bakugou obviously gets stronger for this. No, absolutely. Bakugou, of course, will die, be revived by this person, and then probably also have his quirk. So Bakugou certainly will get stronger now. Absolutely. I would be very surprised if Bakugou doesn't return with new powers. Will have this quirk as well, right? Of course he will, or something like that. Or they were like, I don't know, but it's silly. It's silly. It's just hard to take it seriously. But the problem with this thing, right, it's just like we've seen in One Piece or other animes where if they revive, a character like this, you can't ever believe that a character dies, right? Obviously One Piece, and I keep saying One Piece because One Piece is very, very known for this thing, right? And I assume, of course, that if you're watching this review, you also have seen One Piece, honestly. I assume that it's the same fan base, more or less, right, But it's a massive issue in One Piece, and this is by far the worst issue of One Piece, and I said many before, but because of Oda's constant, right, fake out deaths, because of the fake out deaths he constantly do, you stop believing them, you know what I mean? You stop believing them. So when Oda then killed off characters, I would say after the time skip or so, right? But even before that, especially after the time skip, character that has died after the time skip in One Piece, you don't think they're dying, right? I've been sitting there too, reading it, obviously reacting to some of them, and be like, huh, did he die now? Like, I don't know, like, did he die, guys? Like, you actually wonder, right? Because the author does this fake deaths so often you're like, well, maybe it's not. And now, My Academia isn't there yet. I don't know, it just ended this week, so I guess it won't get that far in the number of chapters. But it certainly has had also plenty of fake out deaths by now, right? It's not the only fake out death. The other character too has basically been owned, and they look dead, but then they, are fine the next chapter, basically, right? Or after the next arc, you come back fine, and you say, oh, I'll go in here, whatever. Miru by losing his power, he didn't die from that, but that also was a massive fake out death thing about. No, I love Miru as a great character, but that also was very much a fake out that in sense because of course he returned with his powers, right? So yeah, but all of that being said, this is the worst one. This is definitely the worst writing we've so far. This like fake out that I think it ruins a lot of the storyline. It ruins the tension, It ruins the tension so much. That's why I brought up One Piece, right? Because that's the issue with One Piece too. I have very hard time now, even though I like One Piece, right? I loved One Piece, grew up reading for 20 years plus, right? It's so hard to read One Piece and feel any tension because Oda has completely like lost any trust in me. I lost all my trust over the author, right, to actually kill a character, right, And obviously, again, he's worse than Macadamia, but I feel like if you can't even kill off this character here, his heart was ripped out, and then this random hero comes and saves him for like no real reason because why does he even know Bakugou, right? It just feels like, why would I trust you? You kill off any other character, right? Afu can turn into Messiah, talking about the later episode, coming that soon here. But that was kind of like he's the bad guy, so he's more, I accept it easier because he's the bad guy with evil plans. But that's also basically a fake out death, right? Where he can endeavor kills him, but he can revert time and comes back again as a guy, as like Jesus Christ character. But you're like, I'm thinking about it. Dabi also basically returned with stronger, even though Todoroki beat him, right? He's also apparently not defeated yet, and he kind of burned down 2 of the sidekicks in the episode. So you see what I mean? Like this episode here, it removes all the tension of this fight, I feel, in a large way. And I'm sure some character will get killed there. Probably some of the waifus, given the Miruko hate, But it just feels like, how can I trust that, right? It really reminds me of One Piece. I kept saying it. How can I trust now that the author is actually killing off his character? If you couldn't even kill off Bakugou, that his heart was destroyed, and then they could heal it. They could heal it. Like they could fix that, right? Because that was like some massive death scene too. It wasn't just that Bakugou got like punched or something, and he flew into it, got impaled or whatever, or he's probably dead, but he might survive, kind of thing, right? Or he was like silhouetted, or he was like behind, like we didn't see it happening. Really, it was very, very explicit that he was like dead, and then he's back. So yeah, this is the fake out that the tension now is in a lot of way ruined, right, in the storyline, and it's just bad in that sense. But honestly, I keep saying it also is a bad way in a sense, right? I am not disappointed, I suppose, because I expected this thing to happen 100%. I said it last review, right? So I keep saying it. Said it in my shorts that I genuinely never believed the Bakugou died. I didn't find it that sad last episode. People cry. To me, it wasn't sad as episode because I actually never believed that the author could pull it off, right? And he didn't, right? And that, in a sense, is even more sad that I didn't have any like trust in the author. Even though I like Macadamia a lot, I love Macadamia, but I don't have trust in the author to actually kill off a character like Bakugou in this kind of way. I had zero faith in that, and I just wasn't sad then, right? In the last episode, I wasn't sad whatsoever. I just felt like, of course, you're gonna revive him, and then you get this really weird Deus Machina revive, and he's back again, and stronger than ever. And that's exactly what I expected. So that's even sadder. I mean, sad as in like the author is, the author is failing, right? Writing is failing. That I think is predictable that the author wouldn't have the actual guts to, actually have Bakugou die permanently, right? And instead, what I expected happened, that he was like, he's fine, So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but it obviously ruins a lot of the tension on the manga, right? But, I don't know. I still say lastly about this part, I still think that other characters can die, though. I just feel like the plot armor, I mean, it's kind of like a zombie show, like Walking Dead or whatever, right? It's like, well, okay, character can die, but I guess the author will never kill off like Deku or so on. You know what I mean? Urikara won't ever die. Yeah, it's kind of like I can see character dying, but I think it's gonna be just like in the past where he kills off side characters like Midnight Sensei. He seems to be very incapable of like killing off, you know, like main characters or like important character storyline. All Might also should probably have died earlier, you know. I mean, honestly, if All Might have died instead of using his powers, that also probably would have been better, honestly. Probably so, yeah. If All Might actually would have died earlier, that actually probably been more impactful. You'll see the impact with using his powers, but same thing there. So I think that, like I said, it falls kind of like a zombie movie, zombie TV show plot armor, right? Where the main characters will never die no matter what, and side characters can still die. That's kind of how I feel with My Academia now. Like I don't believe that, you know, like I said, Deku or someone will ever die. Not even in the last fight. So it's what it is. But anyway, let's talk about the part of the episode as well here. Look at this Miruko hate. So I was like, yeah, she just wanted cool. Then she gets owned again and again and again. Every goddamn time, the poor lady. Miruko gets owned. He's just crap. Like, what the hell is this thing? Miruko turns into like a rabid dog now. Look at this thing. It's so terrible. I hate this so much. Why is she always getting in you so much for? Stop hurting Miruko. Look at this thing, it's ridiculous. She got it, but it's so stupid. She's flying, I hate it so much. Stop hurting Miruko. Why is she so happy for? Stop losing your body part, lady. Why does the author hate her so much for? My god. She has no power doing this thing. Her body's basically is like her body's basically on a torso left, yeah. And she can, I can do all this stuff. This makes zero sense. I mean, genuinely. I mean, look at this scene. She's like a rabid dog now. She has no body parts left anymore. Like, stop it, okay? The author gotta stop this thing. It's so ridiculous, and it also doesn't make any sense. She comes up to him and kicks him with what, man? She has like the kind of hook thing left, but anymore. If you lose your arms and legs, you know, you will have so less rotation in your body. So she's a physical hero. It's like a little, you know, there's no power left anymore in her body. It's so stupid. The author, the Miruko hate. I kept saying, I said for years now, the Miruko hate's gotta stop, man. This is absurd. And the author has clearly decided, oh, it's okay to hurt Miruko because, like, I don't know, that's my thing. He's like, oh, torture Miruko more. Like every goddamn, fight, Miruko loses 3 body parts every fight, man. It's so ridiculous. This is crazy. And it's predictable too, because it happens every time with her. Okay, this is the image we were using. Okay, this is the only image when Miruko looks competent. I'm like, stop the Miruko hate! Like seriously, right? Seriously. Stop the Miruko hate. Stop the Miruko hate. Stop the Miruko hate. I hate this episode in a lot of ways. I mean, seriously, right? But honestly, I kind of hate that Miruko keeps getting like massively destroyed every episode. More so than I hate that Bakugou is alive again, yeah. Because obviously Bakugou being alive is like weak Sauce Writing. But honestly, I have to address it again. And I know I'm broken record on this thing. But come on, the author hates Miruko. He says he's his favorite character. But this episode of Miruko, like running, being like destroyed, being like, she gets like losing her arm and legs. She got, I mean, in one way she's badass because she gets that guts treatment, right, of losing her arm, like fighting anyway. But it looks so silly. She runs at him like a rabid dog, like it's not a bunny anymore, turns into a rabid dog. Like he runs at him with like no legs and arms and tries to bite him, like the guy from the Monty Python movie, the Holy Grail. You're like, come on, man, like come on, like it doesn't make any sense. You can't be this like injured and run at him like I bite him, You're like, come on, man, it's so silly. It's just I see the issue with a lot of artists, right, and they have what's called the dwarf effect. Obviously, Miruko is the dwarf of My Academia. I said it before. That's very, very obvious, right? That she basically appears, she's badass, but then she gets owned by the bad guy over and over again, right? To show how strong the bad guy is, That's the dwarf. And obviously, Sasha Stripe is the biggest dwarf ever because she is like the strongest hero in America. Comes over to Japan and Shigaraki kills her in one episode, right? So obviously, she's like complete super dwarf. And again, I said it that episode 2, right? The author has he hates the women, right? But seriously, he's using the women as dwarfs all the time, and I don't know why, because it's a very clear thing that the waifus are always dwarfed by the author for some reason, because there are not many men that get dwarfed in this manga and anime. But obviously that Miruko and Star Stripes and so on are constantly Miruko. But anyway, I think that the issue though with it, And this is what I mean, like a lot of authors actually have this issue, that's why I bring that first here, is that a lot of authors have a tendency to be like, well, if I've hurt this character once, then I'll keep doing it. You know what I mean? I think the Miruko writing here is just really, really terrible in so many ways. Not because it's constantly warfing her and it's hating the wife or whatever, but just how it gets kind of silly, right? It gets kind of silly where, and again, this is a very common issue in shonen anime, where it's like they have one character, usually a woman, but sometimes a man, usually a woman, and then they keep hurting her over and over and over again. And it's not like the other character. I mean, sure, Hadou gets punched once by him, you know, and Miru gets maybe like punched something, but Miruko gets like way more damage, right, constantly. So the author has determined that she's like kind of like the body losing character, right? And that's a very common thing in so many manga anime, unfortunately. So it's that there's also that one character, right, that loses an arm every fight, or usually they have healing powers, right? So they can, yeah, especially if you look at something like X-Men or whatever, right? Like Wolverine, of course, will take the most damage because he can heal, right? So just because his healing powers, he can't avoid damage. But it really is that the plot armor of a character is determined kind of like, if you have healing powers, the plot armor is the lowest, right? In a way, it's the highest because it can heal, but you know, it's really low to avoid damage, right? Because you can heal it. And then Miruko doesn't have healing powers, but she's that common place there where the author hurt her once, right? Now she's getting hurt every chapter, every episode. And honestly, I feel kind of silly because the writing is bad then, because you know she will get hurt, you know. You know Miruko is the one to get hurt this episode. And I think that actually ruins a lot of storytelling, because we all know that Miruko won't die, but she will lose like a body part every episode, you know what I mean? We all know that Miruko won't take damage, but she's like, oh no, I'm fine, guys. Yeah, like we know she's gonna lose a part and to keep fighting it. So, all for one, right? Hot, attractive again. Yeah, he's all hunky-dory, man. But I like it. I like this song. I like what I call it, soundtrack, like a gospel thing, right? A little bit of lyrics in the back there, kind of like church music. It's like, it's like, yes, right. Oh yeah, I'm the Messiah. Yeah, it was awesome. He goes back. He's like reincarnated, basically, right? The thing is that I like how he, not only did he go back to that classic All for One face, right? You know, with the burn off face. No, he actually went even further back. He's basically like 25 or something again. Yeah, he went back to his like younger age, right? Like back when he and his brother fighting in the, you know, in the far, you know, distant past, right? Like 6 years back or whatever. So he was like 100 years younger now. So I like that. Yeah, he's like peak, right? So he's probably stronger now than he was even when All Might defeated him. Of course, now his powers is based on, to some extent, of course, how many quirks he has, right? But his physical body is basically in his perfect shape, right? Yeah, he went back before he had all his fights and so on. Which is like a muscular young dude, so he really shaped up. But I liked it because it makes him a much better, like, you know, final villain now, right? Using that like time reverse power of Eri, and okay, so now I'm like, you know, in my perfect shape, and also it's great because I'm tired of seeing his ugly, you know, I'll say the face thing. Yeah, this is better now. It gives him more character, like his actual back to it, so to speak, right? But also, of course, it probably means that Ogbu's Deku has a beat him, right? And I think that is something I said before too, but I do feel it's an issue with both Shigaraki and All for One being way too overpowered, both of them. And also feels like, well, you need Deku, I guess, to beat this guy, right? And Dower and Hawks could barely defeat him in his, like, you know, older, weaker state, right? So now he's, like, stronger than he was when you fight him before. So definitely they're gonna get owned, man. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna handle this thing at all. I don't think the heroes have any chance here. Maybe the Americans can nuke him. They were like, yeah, let's send some nukes, right? But yeah, I really don't see, unless Endower is like super, because even if Endower is like, oh, I will sacrifice my legs too or something, you know, I don't really see it happening. It doesn't make sense to me. So the All for One is played off as way too powerful now. So unless other heroes can appear and assist them, I can't see them winning this fight at all. We do have, of course, a bunch of other characters that hasn't done anything yet. So I mean, sure, but that's the one thing I would accept, is that, like, the other heroes, right, or maybe some of the younger people, whatever, some other people have to appear there and help Endower and Hawk if they're gonna defeat him here. Right? Yeah, they need to have a bunch of other characters we haven't seen from right. So I can't accept Endower. I just can't, even though I love Endower and Hawks. If they struggle so much, right, beating his older self, and now he's younger and stronger, you know, I mean, yeah, it just seems silly if they could defeat him now.